4th grade. This is your Shurley English Chapter 9 Lesson 5 lesson. This is a review lesson because you've already learned all of the skills. We are going to review classifying sentences that have indirect objects, and we are going to review punctuating and correcting sentences that have quotations. All right, let's start with the first sentence. We're going to classify this, so get out a piece of paper and a pencil and write it down. And try to classify it on your own, and then we'll classify it together. Here we go. It says, Mother served us pancakes with blueberry syrup for breakfast. Who served us pancakes with blueberry syrup for breakfast? Mother, subject, noun. What is this saying about mother? What's the action? Served. That's our verb. Mother served what? Pancakes. If we're answering mother served what, we're answering with pancakes, the noun. Does pancakes mean the same as mother? It does not. Pancakes is a direct object. Mother served pancakes to whom? If we're answering to whom, we know we have an indirect object. So us is an indirect object, and we know that's it definitely is because it comes between the verb transitive and the direct object. Let's make this verb a verb transitive since we have a direct object. With is always a preposition. With what? Syrup, object of the preposition. What kind of syrup? Blueberry. If we're answering what kind, we know that it's an adjective. For is always a preposition. For what? Breakfast, object of the preposition. Put parentheses around your prepositional phrases. All right, and this is subject, noun, verb transitive, indirect object, direct object, pattern 3. Period, statement, declarative sentence. Let's divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. You need to find the verb. The verb is served. The complete subject is mother. The rest is the predicate. For our next sentence, you need to write this down and you need to fix all of the errors. It does have quotations in it. All right, I'm going to do it with you. I hope you tried to do it on your own. It says, Dad is taking me to Disney World, Kate exclaimed. Can you come too? Okay, let's start by underlining our explanatory words. Kate exclaimed. Let's put our quotation marks around the first sentence. And we know we have explanatory words that come in between the two sentences that are quotations. So we need to put quotation marks around both sentences. All right, let's capitalize dad because it is the first word of the quotation and dad is being used as a proper noun. Disney World is a proper noun as well. Let's capitalize that. Dad is taking me to Disney World. We need an ending punctuation here, but we know it's not the actual end of the sentence because the end of the sentence comes after Kate exclaimed. But she's exclaiming, so we need to put an exclamation point right there. And then we need to capitalize Kate because Kate is a proper noun. We need to put a period at the end of the sentence because the end of the actual sentence comes after exclaimed. And we need to capitalize can because that's the beginning of the next sentence and it's the beginning of the quote. Can you come too? That's a question. So we need to put a question mark at the end. I'm going to move over these quotation marks just so that it's clear that the quotation marks always come after the punctuation. I'm going to move these over a little bit too. All right, let's see. Do we have everything? Quotation marks. Dad is taking me to Disney World. Capitalize. Exclamation point. Quotation marks. Kate exclaimed. Capitalized Kate. Put in our ending punctuation. Quotation marks, capitalize can, put in our question mark, and we have our quotation marks. All right, we have everything done. You can now complete Chapter 9, Checkup 46. I will go over it throughout the rest of the video, but only watch the rest of the video if you need help. Okay, this is Classroom Practice 43. Exercise 1, classify each sentence. These are really difficult. I don't know why your workbook started with such difficult sentences, so please don't look at these sentences and think that they're all going to be like this. They will not. Your book decided to start with really hard ones. So here's the first one. Dad gave Sheila, Angie, and Todd a ride home after the concert. Who gave Sheila, Angie, and Todd a ride home after the concert? Dad. Dad is the subject noun. What is being said about Dad? What did he do? Gave. Verb. Could be a verb transitive. Dad gave what? Ride. Let's verify the noun. Does ride mean the same as dad? It does not. Comes after the verb. It is a noun. That means it's the direct object. So gave is a verb transitive. Dad gave ride to whom? Remember, to whom is an indirect object question. So when you hear that, it should make you think of an indirect object. Dad gave a ride to Sheila, Angie, and Todd. We actually have 3 indirect objects here. I told you this workbook page was tricky. That means they are compound indirect objects, which is pretty hard to figure out, but we just label them CIO for compound indirect object. CIO and CIO. We know they are indirect objects because look, they come between the verb transitive and the direct object. They are all nouns, and they answer the question, to whom? All right, and the word and we know is always a conjunction, so we can label that C. A is always an article adjective, so we can label that A. Here is a really tricky one. Gave a ride where? Home. Home is actually describing where Dad gave the ride, so it's describing gave. It's describing a verb. That means it's an adverb. After is always a preposition. After what? Concert. It's the object of the preposition. The is an article adjective. Did we get every word? We did. Let's go ahead and write what our pattern is. It is, of course, a pattern 3 because we had indirect objects. So it's SN, verb transitive. Oops. Indirect object. Direct object, pattern 3. After the concert is a prepositional phrase, so let's put parentheses around our prepositional phrase. Don't think I can use the same color, but that's okay. Period, statement, declarative sentence. Let's divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. The subject is dad. It's the only part of the subject. That means the rest of it is the predicate. Gave Sheila, Angie, and Todd a ride home after the concert, because it starts with the verb gave. All right, and we are done with that sentence. Sentence 2. Did your mother give you a long lecture about the money? Who did give you a long lecture about the money? The answer is mother. Mother is the subject noun. What is being said about mother? What did she do? Give. Give is the verb. We have another verb here, though. You should have noticed we have another verb, did. It comes before the main verb. That means it's a helping verb. Mother did give what? Lecture. Let's verify the noun. Does lecture mean the same thing as mother? It does not, but it is a noun and it comes after the verb. It is the direct object. That means give is a verb transitive. Mother did give a lecture to whom? To whom? That question should sound familiar. It's an indirect object question. To whom? To you. You is the indirect object. We know that because it answers the question to whom. It's in between the verb transitive and the direct object. Also, it is a noun / pronoun. All right, so we identified our indirect object. What kind of lecture? Long. Long is describing the noun lecture, so it is an adjective. A, of course, is always an article adjective. About is always a preposition. About what? Money, object of the preposition. The word the is always an article adjective. Whose mother? Your mother. Your is possessive and it is describing mother, and it's a pronoun, so it's a possessive pronoun adjective. Let's classify our sentence. SN, verb transitive. IO, direct object. Pattern 3. Question mark, question, interrogative sentence. So let's label it INT for interrogative. It's asking a question. About the money is a prepositional phrase. So let's put parentheses around our prepositional phrase. This is, I don't know why, but when I use the drawing feature, it's kind of getting messed up, but you can tell that's a prepositional phrase. All right, it looks like we have we need to divide the subject from the predicate. And with this one, we actually have to underline, which we haven't done in a while, but we have to do that because it starts with a helping verb, and that helping verb, of course, will be part of the predicate. We want to divide our sentence right here because your mother is the subject. The rest is predicate. Let's single underline your mother because it's the subject, and let's double underline everything in the predicate. Sorry, my double underlining looks terrible. But there you go. All right, that is sentence 2. Let's go ahead and do sentence 3. Sally offered James a glass of punch during the party. This one is not as hard as the other two. I wish your workbook would have started with one like this. You might be able to do this one on your own. Who offered James a glass of punch during the party? The answer is Sally. It's our subject noun. What is being said about Sally? What did she do? Offered. Verb. Sally offered what? Glass. Glass is a direct object. Does it mean the same as Sally? It does not, but it is a noun. It comes after the verb. It's a direct object. That means we need to change the verb to a verb transitive. Sally offered glass to whom? James. It's answering the question to whom. It comes between the verb transitive and the direct object, so that means this must be an indirect object. The word a is always an article adjective. Of is always a preposition. Of what? Of punch. Object of the preposition during the party. During is always a preposition. During what? Party. Object of the preposition. The word the is always an article adjective. Let's put parentheses around our prepositional phrases. Okay, let's go ahead and write our sentence pattern. SNVTIODOT3. We have a period statement, declarative sentence. Divide your subject from your predicate. Sally is the subject. Again, that's like looking weird when I do that. All right, Sally is the subject, and the rest of it is predicate. We know that because here's the verb, and then everything that comes after the verb, including the verb, is the predicate. All right, and we are done with that one. Now let's go on to our skills in editing. This part is actually this is pretty easy, and I think kind of fun, because you just learned what to do with quotation marks, or with quotations, and that's what we're going to do here. So it says exercise 2, use the editing guide to help correct each mistake. So you can use your reference 142, rules for punctuating beginning quotes, while you do this. It says underline the explanatory words. Number 1 has 9 mistakes, 2, 9 mistakes, 3, 8 mistakes. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Make sure you're looking at reference 142 while you do this. All right, according to our rules, we want to first underline any end explanatory words. Miss Evans is reading an exciting book to us, Debbie said. Here is our end explanatory words. Debbie said. All right, so we did the first thing. Rule 2, place quotation marks at the beginning and end of what is said. Again, this is not working right. Okay. The beginning and end. Miss Evans is reading an exciting book to us. Here's the end. For a beginning quote, put a comma, question mark, or exclamation point, no period, after the last word of the quote, but in front of the quotation mark. So here we go. Here's the end of our quote. We can put a comma, an exclamation point, or a question mark. We never put a period here, though. This is a statement. It's declarative, so let's just go ahead and put a comma, never a period. Next, we want to capitalize the beginning of a quote and any proper nouns or the pronoun I. So let's go ahead and capitalize the beginning of the quote. And capitalize the name Evans. And we need to put a period in between Miss and Evans, right? There we go. Miss Evans is reading an exciting book to us. Debbie's, oh, we need to capitalize the name Debbie. And then, of course, we need a period at the end of our sentence. So let's put in the period. All right, let's count if we have everything. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we did everything for that one. Let's go on to number 2. Do you like to skate? Shelley asked Cindy. All right, we need beginning quotation marks. And we need quotation marks at the end of the quote. We need a capital letter to begin the quote. We need to look for any other errors. Do you like to skate? Oh, we see another error. Capitalize the name Shelley. Capitalize the name Cindy. We need to decide what our ending mark is going to be inside the quotation mark. Do you like to skate, Shelley? That's a question. So we don't put a comma here, we put a question mark. And then we need an ending quotation mark for the whole sentence. Do you like to skate, Shelley asked Cindy. So we need a period at the end of that sentence. All right, and let's see if we have everything. We had 9 mistakes in this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I see what we missed. Okay. We missed a comma because Shelley is a name. We're directly talking to Shelley, so we need a comma before that. Oh, and then of course we need to underline the explanatory words. Now we have everything in number 2. Okay, let's go on to number 3. The baby is finally asleep, whispered Mom tiredly. Okay, let's go through each of the rules here. Let's first underline our explanatory words. Shouted Shauna happily. Next, let's put in our quotation marks. Dad, our cats just had kittens. Let's put a capital letter to begin our quotation. Let's put a comma after the word dad because we're directly addressing dad. Oh, that doesn't look very good. Dad or cat just had kittens. That is going to show a lot of strong emotion. So we're going to put an exclamation point right there. Shouted Shauna happily. Let's fix the name Shauna here. We, of course, have to capitalize it because it's a proper noun. And then we need a period at the end of our sentence. All right, let's count our mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I miss one again? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, I have them all. Okay, so that was all for number 3. Now let's go to skills and editing number 2. Use the editing guide to help correct each mistake. Underline the explanatory words. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. Let's underline our explanatory word. Let's put in our quotation marks. Let's capitalize the first word. Let's capitalize the name Jeffrey. Jeffries, we need an apostrophe there because it's showing ownership. House to swim. It's a question, so we need to put in a question mark right there. Derek, let's capitalize the name Derek. Let's put a period at the end of our sentence. And let's count our mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have them all. Number 2, yay, my brother made a touchdown. I yelled excitedly. Let's underline our explanatory words. Let's put in our quotation marks. Let's capitalize the first word. We have actually an interjection here, so we need to put an exclamation point right there, and then we need to capitalize the word my as well because it'll be the start of another sentence. And then let's put an exclamation point again at the end of this sentence. Yay, my brother made a touchdown. We have to capitalize. Yelled excitedly. We need a period at the end of our sentence. Okay, let's count our mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have them all. Okay, number 3. The baby is finally asleep, whispered Mom tiredly. Let's underline our explanatory words. Let's put in our quotation marks. Let's capitalize the first word. The baby is finally asleep. Well, this is a statement, so we need a comma here. We need to capitalize the word mom because we're using the word mom as a proper noun. And we need a period at the end of the sentence. Let's count our mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have them all. Okay, that is the end. That was really hard. You should be proud of yourself.